And we're back with another one. Caroline Dubois has a second round draw against Jessica Camara last week. Now, I am a little late to the party on this one. Took a little bit. We've been a little bit busy. But I do want to go over the fight because Caroline Dubois, I believe, is an outstanding talent, and I believe she can unify the division and also be one of the top pound-for-pound women boxers in the world. Now, let's review the fight. Dubois went ahead and completely outclassed Jessica Camara. This was one of those showcase fights where you get to see the boxer's full repertoire of skill, speed, power, defense, and everything. And that's what we saw through 2 rounds. Now, the fight ended in the 3rd round because there was an accidental headbutt, I believe, in the 2nd round, where Jessica and Caroline clashed heads, opened up a big cut. But if you looked at the 1st round and the 2nd round, you can see Jessica was going to get knocked out, or Caroline was going to get the TKO stoppage because she was getting bust up from the 1st round. She got dropped in the 1st round too, as well, Camara. So it wasn't going to end well regardless. The best outcome for Jessica is not to take the loss, and she did get a draw. And you even saw on the replays her corner telling her, like, hey, say you can't see, it's bleeding, it hurts, all that other stuff. Almost like a little bit of a cop-out, but you got to do what you got to do. It doesn't go as a loss on Jessica's record, and it doesn't go on a loss as Caroline's record. Caroline keeps her belts, and on top of that, she can move on. Everybody who was watching the fight noticed that Caroline was going to stop her regardless. Now, if you want to go over the stats in the fight, for the first round, Caroline was 22 for 61, 36%. Second round, she was 29 for 75, 38%, while Camara was only 3 for 21 in the first round, 14%, 7 for 29 in the second round. And then if you look at the power punch connection percentage for Dubois, it was 18 for 37, 48.6%. Second round, 57.4%. And then Camara only 3 for 11, and then in the first round, and then 6 for 21, which is 28% in the second round. Low numbers because she was absolutely getting blitzed by Dubois. Those final punch stats for Dubois she was 51 for 136, 37% connection percentage, while Camara was only 10 for 50, which is 20%. In the totality of the fight, you can just tell that Caroline was going to win regardless. I'm going to keep repeating that. She was going to win regardless. Stoppage, by the way. Caroline Dubois at 135 pounds, now that Katie Taylor's moved up, she's the biggest threat at that 135 pounds. I get it, Terry Harper's there, but Terry Harper has been yo-yoing in weight, and on top of that, she's been stopped twice by Sandy Ryan. She's been stopped by Sandy Ryan and Baumgardner. Caroline Dubois at 135 pounds is probably the hardest hitter there. So I don't like her chances. I'm talking about Terry Harper. I don't like Terry Harper at that spot either, and the other champions as well. I think Dubois is the class of the 135 division. Even if she moved up to 140, even though she's going up against bigger girls like a Chantel Cameron and a Katie Taylor, in theory, would be there. Even Amanda Serrano, in theory, but we all know Serrano's an actually 126-pounder. Between 126 pounds and 140 pounds, which is the range of what, you would move up. Because if you're 126, you would move up to 130. If you're 130, you move up to 135. 135, move up to 140. In that 126 to 140 pound range, the only threats for Caroline Dubois would be Alicia Baumgardner, and honestly, it's probably just Katie Taylor and maybe a Chantel Cameron. At those weight classes, at that lower weight class range, Caroline Dubois, because she's the most, outside of Baumgardner, she's the most athletic with power, speed, defense. She kind of has the full package. Now, I will say this, during the fight against Camara, I hope it was only because she didn't feel any true threat of power coming back from Camara, which, I mean, obviously you could tell watching the fight, is that her defense was slightly lax. She was getting hit with a couple of shots that from like say Alicia Baumgartner could give her some problems. But I think it was just one of those things where it's like it's a demolition job. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit, whatever, kind of a la almost Amanda Serrano, where she gets hit, but she's going to finish you because she's just gonna keep applying pressure coming forward like that. But the only true threat that I see at that lower weight class area is really just Baumgartner, because Baumgartner is a sniper from the outside and is also athletic. The thing about women's boxing is there's not a whole bunch of athletic women in boxing. If you really look at it, there's not a whole bunch of like real athletic. Like when I'm talking about athletic, I'm talking about your Caroline Dubois. I'm talking about your Baumgartners. I'm talking about your Lauren Prices and your Clarissa Shields. Like when I'm thinking of athletic, that's what I mean. It's like they have that footwork, they got movement. Like you could tell, like they could play other sports or do something else besides boxing. They just chose boxing. So at that weight class, I would love to see it. It was a fantastic win. When I want to say I want to see it, I want to see a fight between Caroline and Baumgartner. That'd be great. Even though she did call out Terry Harper, which be a British dust up, as they say. And that'd be also a great fight because, the British fans really care about their boxing. So that'd be a big event. But I would love to see Baumgartner versus Dubois at some point in the future. This fight, like I said before, demolition job. Can't wait to see what else Caroline has going forward in the future. I think she's on par to becoming undisputed at her 135 division. I don't see a true big threat for her really at right now, because Baumgartner's actually at 130. But as far as 135 is concerned, I don't see anybody as a threat. And Caroline Dubois, hey, keep them rolling. That's all the time I have for today. Thank you for listening.